Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Earlier in the week, we were discussing requests for information or RFIs and why it's important to respond to them. So I promised that I would give you guys some information. So I came up with what I think are my 7 reasons, which are clear no-brainers to me, as to why you should respond to an RFI. So I hope that this kind of helps you guys as you are kind of building out your strategy for going after procurements in a federal marketplace. So here are my top 7 reasons. So reason number 1, it gives you early insight into upcoming procurement. So even though agencies may not procure everything, and it could be for various reasons, even though they put out an RFI, sometimes, unfortunately, you may not hear back from the program office or either the contracting office regarding an RFI. However, I think it's rare. Most of the times when they are conducting that market research, they are trying to kind of see what the industry yields in terms of best practices. If there are small businesses that are out there that could actually do the work. And also sometimes they want to get like early budgetary information so they know how to build their government estimate, so they know kind of like how much it's going to cost. So again, having that early insight gives you an opportunity to plan. The sooner you are able to plan what it is that you're going to do in your business, the better. So, which leads me to number 2. It gives you insight into your company's capacity to support an upcoming need. So if you know that the agency is going to be, let's use an example of program management support. You know, the agency has put out an RFI to provide program management support where they're going to be bringing in support services, administrative support services for maybe about 20 FTEs. Can you support an opportunity for 20 FTEs? If not, it lets you know early on that you can team with someone, or either you can look for someone to, or a large prime for you to sub yourself to. So having that insight early on lets you know you won't waste time, lets you know if that is even an opportunity that you should be pursuing. Number 3, it gives you an early opportunity to influence agency purchasing decisions. So market research, again, they are conducting it for various reasons. A lot of times there are, and we hear this story all the time about the millions, hundreds of millions of dollars that should be set aside for small businesses, going to large businesses because agencies are saying that they cannot find capable small businesses out there that can do the work. However, when you respond to these opportunities, you can impact those decisions early on in the procurement process. So also, you can somewhat, and I'll talk about this, this is actually my number 7, but this kind of, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit because it's kind of connected to this one. When you're able to influence those decisions, it actually will work to your benefit. For examples, a lot of times within RFIs, they'll ask something as simple as, are we using the right NAICS code? And a lot of times people just say, yeah, or either they kind of gloss over it altogether. But I want to show you something. I'm going to switch my screen for a second to kind of show you. So this is the SBA's small business standard size table. So the one I have highlighted, which is a popular NAICS code 541611 for administrative management and general management consultant. And so it's kind of like a catch-all. One, because that standard size is $16.5 million. So you are considered a small business if you don't exceed that for this particular NAICS code. So if I am looking for some administrative folks, just to or either someone to provide business services, a lot of times I'm going to use this NAICS code. However, if you are able to drill down to a smaller NAICS code and then say, you know what, I think that this is a better NAICS code, and you can demonstrate to the contracting officer why they should use a different one, chances are they will. So NAICS code 561110 for office administrative services. So this standard size is $8 million. Now, if you were to request that a particular service be procured under this, you've just eliminated a lot of your competitors that are making more than $9 million. Because if they are making over an aggregate of 3 years, they don't qualify for this particular NAICS code. However, if you are a startup or a new market entrant, you are going to operate in this space. Now, a lot of folks generally don't even register for this NAICS code. So that's a little tidbit for y'all. So next time they ask, is this the right NAICS code? That's something that you can easily check to see if there's a smaller NAICS code with a smaller standard size that applies, and you can eliminate some of your competitors that way. All right, number 4. It gives you an early opportunity to place some viable opportunities into your federal sales pipeline. So you know that you can do it. You have the capacity to support. You know that you can be competitive. Now, number 4, it allows you to place, this into your pipeline. So the more you are able to fill your pipeline with some viable opportunities, things that you know that you can win, the easier it is for you to meet your sales goals. Everyone should have, each and every one of you in this group should have federal sales goals. So you don't go into business with, just the thought of, oh, I hope I win. I just, hope at some point to get something. But you should each year be establishing your sales goals. So if you have some viable things in your pipeline that you know that are coming down the pike, then it kind of saves you from chasing junk and bouncing from here, and there, like a chicken with your head cut off, because you don't know how you're going to make your next sale. So you want to actually, again, build a good sales pipeline, so that way, you have things in that pipeline that you've already vetted, and you're constantly going back to look at them to make sure that you should continue to pursue them. Number 5, you can force a small business set aside on opportunities over 250K. So some of you may or may not know that 250K, that is the simplified acquisition threshold. So what that means is that everything under 250K is automatically set aside for small business. However, if there are 2 or more small businesses that are interested in an opportunity, they have the capacity to support that opportunity, and it happens to exceed that threshold of 250K, that also has to be set aside for small business, and that's called the rule of 2. Some of you may have heard that before, but you can force that set aside for things that would generally go full and open competition if you respond to the RFI. And number 6, it makes it easy for agency decision makers to actually find you. So they've already, opened up the door. They've provided, an avenue for you to kind of come down by putting that RFI out there. So when you respond to the RFI, you're giving them all of your contact information, right? You're telling them what your capabilities are, how you can support the agency in that particular opportunity so they know where to find you. So it makes it easy. You don't have to chase and, try to leave messages for people who really don't have the time to kind of call you back. And then number 7, like I said, kind of alluded to earlier, you are able to reduce the number of competitors, that you are going up against. Not just when you can get that NAICS code kind of drilled down, but when you force a set aside. So anytime you are able to um, reduce the playing field for yourself, all the better. Not just by getting a small business set aside, but if you have a different socioeconomic status, like if you are a service disabled vet, that you reduce the playing field when you can get them to, procure it that way, because not everyone is walking around with that designator. Especially one that is certified by the Veterans Administration, or if you are in a hub zone, which is a big one. A lot of agencies fail to meet their goals in setting or giving hub zones contracts. So a lot of times they those goals go unmet each and every year. So anytime you can force to set aside or reduce the competition in some way, the better it is for you. So if you guys have any questions regarding RFIs, definitely feel free to um, shoot me a message. And I hope that this was helpful to you guys in some way.